What up? Today, this quick video is just for people doing a GTS conversion on their SR5 AE86s, and I'm going to show you a quick little trick to save yourself $100 getting a rear GTS wiring harness. It's very, very simple. Took me maybe 20 minutes to do, maybe less, and will save you having to purchase that rear GTS harness. So let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna take a look at the kick panel, because that's where it all kind of starts with the rear harness. The rear harness for the AE86 plugs into your kick panel right here. So there's three pieces to it. One is right here at the bottom. Sorry about this mess. One is this connector right here, and the other two are at the side, these two connectors. And this third connector up here at the top, this yellow connector, is actually your fuel pump. Your fuel pump feed. This is, how do I explain it? You know what, let me just pull the connector and then we'll get into it. Okay, so here is the connector. Looking at the back of the connector, it's actually the top left connector. So if I can somehow isolate it, I will. This is it right here. See this one in my hands? This black wire here. Now, factory, it is blue if it was a GTS harness, but this is actually my SR5 harness. I just never pulled it out, and I just ran a black wire all the way from the back of the car, which I'll show you in a moment, up to the front. And on the GTS harness, with the fuse box switched over, this plug is actually the fuel pump, whereas this same plug on an SR5 is your e-brake indicator. So what I've done is I've pulled out the clip for the e-brake indicator, and I've slipped in this wire with a new connector, and that will power up your fuel pump at the back. Now you might be asking, well, where do you get your e-brake light from then? Well, that's another harness that plugs into your GTS, what do you call this, fuse box here. It's a completely separate harness. So even though we've taken the SR5 e-brake warning light off, it won't actually affect anything. So let me just plug this back in. Okay, so we're at the back of the car now. Now, assuming you've gone with the factory setup for how fuel pumps are set up, you're going to have a wire coming up through here, which is your fuel pump. One of the wires will be the positive, one will be the negative. All you have to do is have that same wire run all the way up under your panels, up to that spot I showed you in the fuse box. Comes all the way back. I ran it down this way because it was easier behind these panels here. The factory setup runs across the body and then down this side, but I didn't do that. I just ran the wire down behind this guy here, and then it pops out right here, and provides B+, 12 volt to the fuel pump. And of course, you're gonna have to run a ground as well. But that's just how you avoid paying for a $100 GTS rear harness in your SR5 to GTS conversion. Just a quickie, nothing special. Later, dudes. Okay, guys, so here we're just going to do a proof of exactly what I was trying to explain there in the video, which is if you tap into pin number 2 on that connector, you will get the B+ or the 12 volt supply for your fuel pump. So I'm looking at the wiring diagram here for the AE86. Let me jump over to it real quick. And what we're specifically looking at is right here, this guy right here. So this is your fuel pump. This is the light blue wire that's in the GTS harness. Now in our case, the wire could be whatever color you want. This is the wire you're running. The connector is connector F, and you're looking for pin number 2. So if I scroll down a little further, they're going to show you every single connector. And this is the connector here. It's a yellow connector. If you remember, that's what I showed you in the when I did the live video. Connector F, pin 2. And then based on the direction you're looking at the connector, it's here or here, right? So that's exactly what I showed you in the video. So again, connector F, square at, see how it's a square around the F? So that's connector F, pin number 2. And they're using a light blue wire to indicate battery positive for the fuel pump. That's just the color of the wire. The color doesn't matter, really. The point is connector F, pin number 2, is what provides B+ to the fuel pump, and then the fuel pump goes to ground, which is at the back of your hatch. Or trunk if you've got the coupe. So yeah, that's all you got to do. This little section here. This little section is all that's different in the SR5 harness versus the GTS harness in the rear, and it's all just for powering your fuel pump. So you have one wire that's running from connector F, pin 2 to B+ on the fuel pump. And then you've got the other wire coming off the fuel pump, which is the negative, which runs to a grounding point. So you'll just crimp, like one of those circle terminals. What are they called? Shoot, I'm drawing a blank. You'll just crimp a terminal onto it, and then bolt that to the hatch or the trunk. Sorry. So yeah, that's it. Connector F. Here it is again. Connector F. Pin number 2. All right, I hope that's cleared it up. I tried to clear it up best I can, so hope that helps out. Thanks guys for watching.